This week's People cover story honoring the victims and the heroes of the deadly mass shooting in Las Vegas.
Gabrielle Union opens up about infertility. We'll tell you what she has to say.
Plus details on Khloé Kardashian's romance and pregnancy.
Sex and the City infighting. Kim Cattrall slams Sarah Jessica Parker in the wake of news that hope for a third movie is officially gone.
And the Real Housewives of New Jersey are out in force.
She was okay saying, like, I'm mad and I'm angry at all of these things that are happening to my life.
Melissa, Danielle, and Margaret all dishing on the new side of Teresa Giudice that we see on this season of the show.
And guess what? Teresa is here live giving us her reaction to what they said, plus spilling the beans on everything coming up on the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
It's all today on People Now.
Good morning, People.com and Facebook Live. Welcome to People Now. Let's get right into what you need to know and what's trending today. Watch this.
Get out of here. There's gunshots coming from over there. Go that way. Go that way. There's gunshots right here. Hey, they're shooting right at us, guys. Everybody stay down. Stay down. Where's it at? North of the Mandalay Bay. It's coming out of a window. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Go, 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 go. That way, that way, that way, that way.
Yeah, police body cam footage there released on Tuesday showing what some of the first responding officers to the Las Vegas mass shooting faced on Sunday night. Pretty incredible stuff. That footage showing officers hunkering down behind a wall facing the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino after the initial volley of shots fired by the gunman as they tried to figure out where the gunfire was coming from. Now, at one point, we see officers taking cover next to a patrol vehicle on Las Vegas Boulevard. The footage also shows officers instructing people to get down and bravely leading groups of concert goers to safety. So much happened on that violent, awful day, but the stories of bravery continue. And now we want to share the heartbreaking and heroic story of one of the victims. Jack and Lori Beaton from Bakersfield, California were celebrating their 23rd wedding anniversary on Sunday at the Route 91 Harvest Festival. At 7:46 that night, Jack shared a photo to Facebook of his wife and their friends smiling, drinking beers, enjoying the last day of the country music festival. Well, less than 2 hours later, as we now know, everything would change. When gunfire broke out, the couple threw themselves to the ground. The 54-year-old construction worker placed his body on top of his wife to shield her from the bullets. Lori described the terrifying moment to the Associated Press, saying, quote, "He told me, get down, get down, get down. Then he told me, I love you, Lori, and his arms were around me, and his body just went heavy on me." After that, a nurse and an EMT instructed Lori to put Jack on his side as she heard her husband struggling to breathe. Lori refused to leave her husband's side, but after the second round of gunshots rang out, friends and rescue workers convinced her to run to safety. When the lights came on and the gunfire stopped, Lori returned to where her husband was and could not find him. She figured maybe he'd been moved, and maybe that meant that he had received help. Well, with this belief, Jack's family called for prayers, and Lori filed a missing persons report early Monday. But Monday afternoon, the coroner's office confirmed the worst, that her husband was among those casualties. Jack and Lori's son, Jake, posted a tribute to his dad on Facebook shortly after receiving the news with the caption, "Lost my best friend. I love you so much, more than you could ever imagine. Please watch over our family. You will forever be remembered as our hero." Jack and Lori, who met through friends during Lori's senior year of high school, dated for 4 years before they got married in 1994. Lori told the Associated Press that she wanted people to know how Jack had protected her just as he had always done. She said, quote, "I knew every day that he would protect me and take care of me and love me unconditionally. What he did is no surprise to me. He is my hero." After this week's carnage in Las Vegas, we saw lots of people, including representatives in Washington, D.C., offering victims and their families thoughts and prayers in reaction to the tragedy. Also, many people calling for more action. To find out what you can do to help enact change and let your voice be heard, watch this message from People and Entertainment Weekly's editorial director, Jess Cagle.
The vast majority of Americans want common sense gun legislation. We want to make sure that guns stay out of the hands of the wrong people. But the cowards on Capitol Hill refuse to do anything. Here on People.com, we're once again releasing our call to action. The numbers and contact information of every single voting member of Congress. So you can call them and find out what they're doing about gun control. So you can let them know what you think, so you can hold their feet to the fire. There are obviously no easy solutions to gun violence, but we need to let Congress know that doing nothing to ensure the safety of our cities and our schools is not an option.
And in this week's issue of People, more survivors of the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history are sharing their stories of unthinkable horror and extraordinary heroism. Check out that issue on newsstands everywhere Friday. Switching gears now, Gabrielle Union is telling all in her new memoir, we're going to need more wine. Grab a glass. We're bringing you some of those highlights now. We know that Union has been happily married to Cleveland Cavaliers guard Dwayne Wade since 2014. But in the book, she reveals it hasn't been all wedded bliss over the last 3 years, especially when it comes to her, quote, 8 or 9 miscarriages. She says they've endured 8 failed IVF or in vitro fertilization cycles, and she lives with constant bloating from all the hormones. Union says she never wanted to have kids at all until she saw how much joy her husband's nephew and 2 sons from a previous marriage brought to her life, and that the two remain determined in spite of those setbacks. She writes, quote, this child we want to have has been loved even as an idea, so we remain here, bursting with love and ready to do anything to meet the child that we've both dreamed of. Union also tackles the subject of racial identity and racism in the book, getting candid about moving to a predominantly white suburb of San Francisco when she was only in 2nd grade and becoming, quote, the chocolate chip in the cookie. Growing up, Union admits that she tried multiple strategies in order to appear less black, saying, quote, I stayed hyper alert to what I called black pitfalls. What were the things that would make me appear blacker? Going on to add, at age 8, I begged my Afro-loving mother to let me start straightening my hair with relaxer. I could always tell the difference in the way people treated me when I came fresh from getting my hair done professionally. Union says she translated that positive attention to, quote, you look prettier the closer you get to white. And when she started acting, she found this struggle just as complicated. She'd ask herself things like, quote, does this wig mean I'm not comfortable in my blackness? We have so internalized the demands of assimilation that we don't know how to feel about what naturally grows out of our head. She even found herself refusing to date anyone with darker skin than her, admitting that she was, quote, friend-zoning anyone with more melanin to keep up the image she had created for herself. Ultimately, though, Union admits all of these life experiences have made her stronger and more secure in who she is. She writes, quote, I know what I can accomplish, and anything I have accomplished, I did so not in spite of being a black woman, but because I am a black woman. Read a full excerpt of Gabrielle Union's We're Going to Need More Wine in this week's issue of People before the book hits stores October 17th. Guys, Khloe Kardashian is getting ready for her baby with NBA star Tristan Thompson, and a Kardashian insider tells People there's, quote, new life and joy for the famous family. Everyone is genuinely happy. Of course, it hasn't been an easy road for Khloe. The star filed for divorce from husband Lamar Odom in 2013 amid allegations of cheating and drug abuse. And in the season 9 finale of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe admitted to, quote, fake trying to get pregnant with Odom as their marriage fell apart, telling the cameras, quote, I knew the circumstances weren't the healthiest, so I just kept pretending I was doing fertility treatments. The source also reveals Khloe never considered getting pregnant with exes French Montana or James Harden, revealing to People, having a baby is something Khloe has wanted for years and years, but it's more than that. She didn't want it unless she was in the right relationship for it. Well, now she most certainly is. The source goes on to say how Khloe seems, quote, happy and relaxed about her pregnancy with Thompson. The reality star is currently splitting her time between Los Angeles and Cleveland, where he plays for the Cavaliers. As for motherhood, well, Khloe is more than ready. A source revealing she's going to be raising a child with a man that she truly loves. It's always nice to hear that, and we're very happy for Khloe, the whole family.
And the whole family, and all the Kardashian babies that are on their way.
Many are on the way, for sure. Guys, we're also excited because Real Housewives of New Jersey star Teresa Giudice will be chatting with us live. Yes. She is here live this morning. We want to say good morning to her. We're so excited to have you, Teresa. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And Teresa, we're going to be hearing from your fellow castmates, Melissa, Margaret, former arch nemesis Danielle, in just a few minutes. Are you surprised at the dynamic of the Housewives this time around? I mean, who would have thought you and Danielle?
Exactly. You got to tune in and watch.
Okay, well, we're very excited.
Now, I want to ask this. Have you fully retired the table flipping, though? I mean, I think we saw a chair go down in the trailer, so what's going to happen there? Yeah,
there's a chair going down. There's glasses being broken, cakes being thrown, so there's definitely a lot of drama. You need to tune in and watch.
Yeah, there's never a shortage of drama. It's definitely going to be a jam-packed season. Of course, we can't wait to hear more from the OG housewife herself, who will be sitting down with us a little later in the show. But first, Andrea Moore for us in Star Trek today.
Yes, that's right. We're kicking off Star Trek with a little Sex and the City drama. So it seems like some claws are coming out since news that there won't be a third Sex and the City movie was announced last Thursday by series star Sarah Jessica Parker. Rumors were swirling that the film was dashed because of Kim Cattrall, aka Samantha's high diva demands. But Cattrall slammed the reports on Monday in an interview with Piers Morgan, saying, quote, "It's quite extraordinary to get any kind of negative press about something that I've been saying for almost a year of no, that I'm demanding or a diva. The answer was always no, and a respectful, firm no." She then goes on to call out Sarah Jessica Parker, who would have been a producer on the film, saying this. And this is really where I take to task the people from Sex and the City, and specifically Sarah Jessica Parker, in that I think she could have been nicer. Though Cattrall stands her ground, another source close to the situation maintains to People that Cattrall's comments are diverting attention from the key issue, that, quote, "Kim is trying to distract from what this is about, which is this: Kim killed the movie." Sources also tell People that the fashion-forward quartet have never been close, saying, "It's no secret that the women have had their issues over the years. They're all very talented, but I don't think it's ever been easy." And even though Cattrall claims that she has refused to board a third film since 2016, the source tells People she was negotiating as recently as this summer to join the movie. Sarah Jessica Parker has not commented publicly on Cattrall's decision to not take part in further Sex and the City films. She only told Extra that the possibility for a third film was officially over, and went on to say, quote, "It's not just disappointing that we don't get to tell the story and have that experience, but more so for the audience that has been so vocal in wanting another movie." Man, guys, I still want it to happen. I want a third. Maybe it'll happen still, who knows? All right, moving on to this. 63-year-old model Christie Brinkley is revealing her best-kept secret to looking young. Brinkley, who has 2 daughters, previously credited her youthful glow to a robust fitness routine, intense skincare regimen, and strict vegetarian diet. But hey, even a supermodel needs a little extra help. In this week's issue of People, Brinkley opens up about adding 2 new anti-aging procedures into her arsenal: Xeomin for her frown lines and Ultherapy for her neck and low neckline. She tells People her friends are, quote, lining up to try out the new treatments, and that she's not ashamed to admit her beauty secrets, revealing, "It's better to be honest and say, yeah, this is what I do. My goal was never to look different, but I'm almost 64. At a certain point, you might need a little something extra. And if you can have something done to feel more confident and better about yourself, then you feel like your face matches your spirit. And my spirit is enthusiastic and energetic." Well, ecstatic over her results, Christie has since become the spokeswoman for both products. Xeomin is an injectable that temporarily improves the look of frown lines between the eyebrows, while Ultherapy is a non-surgical procedure which tightens skin and improves lines and wrinkles. Well, we say keep doing you, Christie. You look fabulous, as always. Real Housewives of New Jersey star Danielle Staub tells People she and her reality show nemesis Teresa Giudice are thick as thieves in the new season of the hit Bravo show. Now, this may come as a surprise to many, since it was just 8 years ago when Teresa famously flipped a table and called Staub a, quote, prostitution whore. But Staub says they are now on a new path. They've apologized to one another and have owned up to things that they've done. Danielle Staub, as well as co-stars Melissa Gorga and newbie Margaret Josephs, just stopped by People Now, where the returning housewife talked all about her epic comeback and whether or not she had any hesitations. Watch.
There were several. You know, I was scared. What people don't know about me is there's a hard shell, but on the inside, I'm kind of a little broken into pieces, and I'm very quick with my words, but you know, I'm just as quick to run.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like Roadrunner. You know, beep beep, get out of my way. But I will say what I need to say. I just don't think grown women should ever chase one another. I didn't expect that. So with that said, I was very hesitant to return, but so pleasantly surprised. This time around, I have alliances and friendships, and I get excited to see these ladies.
Yeah.
I mean, I have so much fun with Melissa. I mean, I have nicknames now for them, and they're endearing ones, and I love this one. I love everybody. I really do.
We're a fun group.
Yes.
I think we're a fun group.
There's a dynamic that wasn't there in seasons 1 and 2, and I think if this had been the group in seasons 1 and 2, I would have never gone anywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so ladies, what surprised you more? Danielle's strong relationship with Teresa or her surprise return to the show?
You know what? I think that what's more surprising to me is, I guess, her relationship with Teresa, because I did feel eventually she was going to come back. And she was going to accept some type of offer to come back or whatever it might be. So I don't think I'm surprised she's back. I think people were waiting for it, and here she is.
Oh, here she is indeed. The 3 housewives also opened up about Teresa's transformation this season. Now she's way more vulnerable than ever before. Take a look.
Yeah, obviously it's very different. She always has some type of wall up where she doesn't really want to say too much, and it's always, you know, she puts the smile on, and I think she finally just broke. I think it happened really when her, you know, her mother passed, my mother-in-law passed away, and it just struck something in her, and she was okay saying, like, I'm mad and I'm angry at all of these things that are happening to my life, and I'm, you know, if she's having hard feelings with her husband, and she was vocally saying it out loud, and I think it was therapeutic for her. I think she needed to just say it and hear herself say it, and she's opening up a lot more with that than all of us have ever seen her do.
Is her marriage to Joe really in jeopardy? Does that seem like a legit?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right.
Nor do I.
Yeah? You don't think so either?
No.
Okay.
I'm not saying that she's definitely got some feelings towards him.
Right, she's allowed to go through her emotions.
Yeah, she's got her emotions, and she's got her, you know, she's mad, and she's gonna vocally say that she's mad.
And of course, we cannot wait to get the scoop from the OG housewife herself. Teresa will be joining us live in just a few minutes, so stick around. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, stay with us, guys. Teresa Giudice joins us live this morning, plus inside Hugh Hefner's marriage to Crystal Harris. It's a new special on PeopleTV, and we have your first look.
This is King Cutie in People. His Royal Highness Prince George Alexander Louis of Cambridge. These are George's parents, George's home, his Nana, the Queen, and his staff of 644 Englishmen. This is George's dog Lupo, who inspired his favorite book, The Adventures of the Royal Dog Lupo, one George will share now that he's a big brother. People. The details make the story. Don't miss this week's People.
So just how did the legendary Hugh Hefner find love after the Girls Next Door era ended? Well, PeopleTV takes a deeper look at the marriage between the Playboy magazine founder and Crystal Harris, and how he spent the final years of his life. Take a look.
After Holly, Kendra, and Bridget moved out and sort of that heyday of Girls Next Door era was over, Hef did not think that he would get serious about anyone again. But then came Crystal Harris. The two developed a very strong bond from the beginning. Despite the fact that they were 60-year age difference, he proposed to Crystal and they got married on New Year's Eve of 2012. Crystal was very devoted to Hef. She was a constant fixture and presence and companion to him. And Hef adored her. He said she was one in a million, and he felt very lucky to have her in his life.
In the last few years of his life, Hugh Hefner really retreated from the spotlight.
He was very happy that the parties were still going on at the mansion. He didn't make appearances at all of them as he would have, but he loved the social aspect of it right until the end.
Every year, People magazine picks Hollywood's hottest rising stars in the exclusive Ones to Watch issue. Up-and-coming actors, singers, you name it, they fill the pages with their rise to fame stories. So guys, watch out for these faces because their names are about to be in lights. This year, actor Winston Duke is gracing the pages. He is a self-described nerd and Yale drama student who landed his breakout part in Marvel's upcoming film Black Panther. Lots of buzz about this one, and he says he studied religiously for his villain role, and that when he landed the movie, he just sobbed because it meant so much to him. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I auditioned, and it was a pretty quick process. So had callbacks, go in, meet, audition again, callbacks. And once I found out, it was really my agents loved pranking me. So they called and it's like, you really need to sit down for this, man. It's gonna be, we got some bad news. And then they're like, you got it, you got it. Are you there? Can you hear us? Because I went quiet, just dead quiet on the phone, and started kind of sobbing because it meant so much. Because I found out only maybe a week prior to like testing that this was what I could only hope and dream it was.
Wow, so great for him. We cannot wait to see that. And another star to keep an eye out for is actress Kelly Marie Tran. The 28-year-old was cast as Rebel Rose Tico in the upcoming Star Wars The Last Jedi. She says that landing the role was the first time her Vietnamese immigrant parents finally came around to the idea of her being an actress. Here's what she had to say about her newfound fame.
Yes, the past 2 years have been the craziest years of my entire life, absolutely. I just still can't believe it's all happening. I keep having to remind myself I'm in a movie because I'll just go to LA Fitness and go to Ralph's and go to the grocery store and nobody knows who I am. And then I come to these events and I'm living this weird Hannah Montana life. I would tell myself just to be present and soak in every single moment because it just starts going and it just keeps going by, and it's such a special experience that you want to just really, really experience every second of it. So many people want this and I get to do this, and that's what I've been telling myself from the very beginning.
This is Jennifer Lawrence in People. This is Jennifer photobombing Taylor Swift and Sarah Jessica Parker and Liam Hemsworth, proving that while we all love the fashion of the red carpet, it's people who steal the show. People. The details make the story.
Melissa, I just want to say happy birthday, sister-in-law. You know, I'm so happy you're in my life. You're like the sister I never had, I think. No, we're kidding.
Jerry, Melissa was dancing with a guy the whole time.
No, I didn't say the whole time.
So not necessary! It's my birthday, you bitch! Teresa, what is wrong with you?
Well, that escalated quickly. Throwing cakes, taking names, another day in the life of the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yes, the hit Bravo reality show is back for season 8. It's also our Toyota People Pick of the day. Here to break it all down is OG member Teresa Giudice. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
How are you?
We're so glad you got the cake out of your hair and everything. And
yes, I know.
So nice to have you. Let's get right into it. So it looks like we'll be exposed to a more open and vulnerable side to you, especially after the loss of your mother, which is really sad, obviously. How did that very difficult experience change you? Do you have a new outlook on life?
Yes, I mean, that was devastating to me in my life. Like even going away didn't even compare to losing my mom. And, you know, I don't know if I'll ever get over it, but after I lost her, I got angry. And I just let all my feelings out in my book, Standing Strong. Yeah. And if, it was really therapeutic for me. And it felt good to just get it out.
Yeah, it's something.
And it was
about
something that
right?
Needed to let Joe know also.
Yeah.
Because I was just really upset.
These types of experiences obviously can bring a family closer together. How much have your family and your, Melissa and Joe, how have they helped you through this time?
I mean, I think when I went away, when I came home, that's when I just forgot about everything, and that brought us together.
Yeah.
Like that, what happened then. Because like my parents, my brother was devastated that I left and everything. But then with my mom passing, we were already in a good place then. So
how has the loss of your mother changed the family dynamic when you guys are all together?
I mean, I miss my mom. You know, my brother and I, we were just so close to her. And now my dad lives with me, my 74-year-old dad, and he's living with me and my 4 daughters. So. He doesn't want to be alone, so I'm glad he's with me.
Yeah, great that you're able to be there for him.
I know, we still have Sunday dinners together, and it's just sad that my mom's not here. I still can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like she's just gonna call me like later. Like we used to talk like 20 times a day. I used to see her every day when I came home. She would be at my house when the girls got home from school.
Yeah.
It's obviously such a hard thing to go through. I want to say I think it's so wonderful you're able to be so open and vulnerable about it so then people watching can relate if they're going through something as well. I think that's really beautiful. Switching gears here, former OG member Danielle Staub returns to the Jersey fold. Now you two are close this season, which I think is shocking to people because everyone remembers you flipped the table on her back in season 1. When you look back at your up and down relationship with Danielle, do you have any sort of regrets?
Well, I really didn't get to really know her back then. Because we had, I had people in my ear, she had people in her ear, so we really never got to know each other. So when I was away, I thought about her a lot, and I just wanted her to know that, I never had any cruel intentions towards her, and that's why I reached out to her when I came home, and then we did yoga together.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yoga.
You need to come back.
Yoga brings people together.
Yes.
It does.
I'm like, you need to come back to the show. So, and here she is.
So how would you describe your friendship with her today? With Danielle?
I have to say, we got together, and then that's a little while after that, my mom got sick, and she texted me or called me every single day. Like my mom was in and out of the, she went to the hospital, then she went to rehab, and then she never came home from rehab, then back into the hospital. And she texted me and called me every day to see how my mom was doing, like how I was doing, how my mom was doing. And she didn't have to really do that.
Yeah.
And it just, you know.
It's sort of surprising to hear that. Are you surprised how far you've come with her? From compared to that moment in the past, you know, the worst moment in the past that we all saw, and then to here.
No, you know, I'm surprised, but then I'm not, just because we never got a chance to get to know each other. So.
That's great.
We're glad that you guys are doing well. You might have flipped tables in season 1. Looks like you're not done with furniture quite yet. I mean, the trailer we see there's going to be a blowout fight with Kim D after she spreads rumors that you were unfaithful to Joe. So how does this rumor start, and is there going to be a ripple effect from this rumor and fight?
Well, how does the rumor start? The rumor came out of her mouth, so I guess you would have to ask her, you know, you would have to ask her that question.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not that, you know, I meant to flip a chair, but she, like, pissed me off, so.
Sometimes it just comes out.
I have that, you know, I'm Italian. I have, you know, you never know what's going to happen, you know. I just have.
Thank God the chair was there instead of a table or cake.
Like I said, I'm never going to flip another table. But like, they never say never, right?
Never say never. You never know.
You also like those moments.
And so besides the show, you have the new book out, which we've been talking about. It's called Standing Strong. You get very candid about a lot of the events in your life, including your relationship with Joe. You write about how in some ways you're unsure whether or not your marriage is going to last. For people hearing that who are shocked by it, I guess what do you think is it going to take to make it last, and what's your current status with him?
Well, I remember like when I first started doing the show, everybody kept asking me, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? I'm not answering that question anymore, because if you would have asked me that like back then, like would I have ever gone away to prison? No, I would have said never.
Yeah.
So I can't predict the future. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. You know, I want it to work, but you know, when Joe comes home, he has to do the right thing, and then you know, we just move on from there.
And have you talked to Joe about the frustrations? Has he read what you've read? I mean, he's up to date on everything you're frustrated?
He hasn't read it because it just came out yesterday, so I'm going to send it to him. But I did, you know, voice to him everything that I wrote in the book.
All right. And does it seem like you're going to be able to repair your marriage? And I mean, are you hopeful that that's going to happen?
Yes, I am hopeful. And I see, like, you know, he has, you know, obviously he's there. He has a lot of time to think. He feels, you know, there's a lot of guilt that he feels. And and I see, you know, the change in the way he's writing his emails and what he's saying. So, you know, when he comes home.
So it sounds like the emails, the tone has maybe changed. Is there anything specific that you know that you need to work on as a couple in order to move forward?
No, I mean, we had a great marriage.
Yeah.
I just, you know, I'm upset with him. Just, he wasn't on top of the finances, like the way he should have been. You know, he trusted the wrong people, and that was it. Like that was really important, because he just made a mess of things. And not only, what upsets me too is that my daughters had to go through this.
Yeah.
And you know, it's hard for them. I mean, you know, that's the thing. Adults, we could go through anything. Like I was, you know, I was fine. I'm strong. I could, you know, I had no problem doing it. But who suffered were my daughters.
Yeah, how often do they get to see him? I mean, he's a year and a half into his 41-month prison sentence. He's almost halfway there. I mean, how's he holding up?
I mean, the girls adore him. Like, we see him as much as we could. I mean, their activities come first, because they're in competition teams, club teams, you know, for cheer and soccer. So that comes first. Then, you know, work. That's really important for me. Like, I need to work. And then then we'll go see him.
Yeah.
I would say like we go see him like once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks. It depends on the schedule.
Yeah, and even from a fan's perspective and the viewer's perspective, the girls, the kids, they're growing up so fast.
Yeah.
Gia, we hear, has a new boyfriend.
Not a new boyfriend,
it's her boyfriend.
Yeah,
Is there a strict sort of vetting process in the family when it comes to boyfriends? What's the guy got to, you know, jump through a hoop or two?
I have to say he's amazing. He really, really is. I thank you, God. I got really lucky. Yes, you know, he's just such a good kid. I mean, everyone that meets him, he's just a breath of fresh air. And I mean, any rules, Gia is pretty amazing, I have to say.
Yeah.
Like,
is it weird for you seeing your oldest daughter dating?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I'm like, I look at her and I just stare at her. I'm like, I love her eyes, and I'm like, you're just so beautiful. I'm like, I can't believe you're like getting so big. I'm like, stop growing, you know. But I mean, now I hold on to like Adriana, because she's 8.
Yeah.
She just turned 8.
Right.
And today's Gabriella's birthday.
Happy birthday, Gabriella.
She turned 13, and then Melania's 11.
Wow.
Yeah. I adore my daughters. Like, I just look at them, and I mean, I try to be the best mommy I could, and you know, I live for them.
Really cool.
Yeah, and speaking of them, I mean, how have you've watched them grow up, how have they been a support to each other and to you in this entire experience?
They have. I mean, they're so, I mean, I'm strong, but they're even stronger. Like, they just, when I was away, like Gabriella would email me every single day, tell me from what she did in the morning to what she did until when she went to bed.
Full like diary of the day, yeah.
It was like amazing. I kept all her emails. Yeah, I mean, they're just, Gia, Gabrielle, and Milani do their own laundry.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Dream come true.
They do their own laundry. They clean up the house. Like, I have a cleaning lady that comes every 2 weeks. But otherwise, you know, throughout
she has nothing to do. All she does is like...
My daughters help me. Like, if I'm working, they do it. They'll mop the floor. They clean up the kitchen. They're amazing. Their rooms are never messy.
Wow.
Spotless.
You taught them well.
That is really great. And look, let me get back to this really quick. We want to talk about this, hit on this before we let you go to the book. You talk openly about your time in prison, revealing that Ivanka Trump was one of the first people to call you after you completed your sentence. You're obviously close to the family since you were on Celebrity Apprentice. What is something about President Trump that we would be surprised to know?
You know, when I was on Celebrity Apprentice, all I have to say is they were an amazing family. They have great family values, and you know, that's it. I mean, that's what I have to say.
Do you stay in touch with Ivanka or any of the other family members?
I used to go to a lot of Eric Trump's charity events with St. Jude. Like, I would go every single year. And I mean, you know, I send them emails. I congratulated them when their father became president, like that.
Yeah.
But like, they're so busy now.
I
mean, yeah.
Got a few things to pay attention to.
Yes, they have, you know.
So,
but they're a wonderful family.
Yeah.
Also in your book, you talk about imagining life outside of Jersey. And then when your fellow housewives were here, they said, quote, not a chance.
That you would go to
malls in Jersey.
No, that you would possibly move to Kentucky, right? That there was a chance you would do that, which I think is mind-blowing, and I love the idea.
There's no chance because there's no malls in Kentucky.
Yeah, no, my daughters would never move there.
By the way, there are malls in Kentucky, to be clear. I've been there.
I mean, you never say never.
Yeah, that's true.
Never say never.
I think Teresa Takes Kentucky is a reality show that's already written itself. I mean, let's just, how could we not do this? Anyway.
I would love to do it.
All right, final thing before you go. The show's 8th season. You've obviously been through so much. If you could go back to season 1, Teresa, the first time you were on the show, what piece of advice would you give that version of yourself?
What piece of advice? Well, make sure all your finances are in check.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, that would probably be the biggest one, right?
Make sure everything was, you know.
Let's look at the books.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, and I wasn't in charge of it then,
no,
so
right.
that's why I didn't know. But I mean, I asked my husband, "Is everything good?" Everything's good, Tree. Everything's good. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, you've come a long way, and we're glad that you're here now.
But that's all I have to say. Anybody going on TV, make sure everything's in check.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, well, thank you so much, Teresa.
Thank you
and you
so
guys,
much.
make sure to watch The Real Housewives of New Jersey Season 8 premiere tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on Bravo. And purchase Teresa's book, Standing Strong, available right now.
There it is. And guys, coming up tomorrow, very excited, breaking down Hollywood's sweetheart Ryan Gosling's top 5 movie moments. We've done it, if you can believe it. Plus, the middle star Patricia Heaton reveals the last family vacation that she went on.
And thank you so much for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from the ladies of Real Housewives of New Jersey. Enjoy.
Bye, guys.
Hi, I'm Melissa Gorga.
Hi, I'm Danielle Staub.
Hi, I'm Margaret Josephs.
And
this is One Last Thing.
My last big splurge. A diamond bracelet.
Chanel bag.
Gucci shoes.
Oh, my last girls' night. Yesterday. No.
Okay. Last week, OK Magazine party.
Last week, actually with Danielle and Melissa. The last time I laughed so hard I cried was actually last night, reliving our episode when I said obnoxious things, looking like the Hungarian Contessa.
I'm also going to say the last time I laughed so hard that I cried is when Margaret said something really funny on the episode that I watched last night.
I'm going to have to go across the board. Last time I laughed so hard I cried and peed a little bit was when Margaret said certain things on the episode that I watched last night. It was amazing. Thank you, Margaret.